Hello, how are we feeling? Feeling good, feeling great. Yes, yes, yes. So I think we're getting ready to get started. I am so excited to be here today. So a couple of housekeeping announcements. There are refreshments in the back to my left. The restroom is also to my left at the end of the hall. There are masks if you need them floating around on both sides. And we're going to have a good time tonight. Their mask there, my lovely friend, has anything and everything you need. I'm Kalisa Ray, and I'm going to be your host and MC for the evening. But before we get into it, I am going to welcome up T to give a couple words. Give it up for T.
Hello. This is my least favorite part of the evening when I have to do this. I was joking with Derek earlier that I wish that I could have worn like a brick outfit so that I would have just faded into the back. Yeah, but I am really excited to be here. This is something that has been wanting to happen for many years, and the impetus for it is actually our Torchlight residency, and that is the artwork that you see around. We've had a partnership with Durham Public Schools where we're working with autistic students who have the highest support needs in occupational course of study and extended content standards to have access to the arts and get connected with established disabled artists that they can learn from and build relationships with. Our co-teacher Bethany is in the audience, and Bethany was able to get a connection with the Durham Arts Guild, and so some of the artists will in a few months have a piece in that show too. So we're really excited to see it grow. Yeah. With all of the arts, there's also literary arts, and it's been really important to us as we've been working with the students on voice, on art as activism, as learning about disability justice and what that means for their understanding of their own identity, the ways in which they can use the arts, the way they can use their language, their words, their their creativity to show who they are, what they stand for. So there's different pieces that they worked on that are very individual and personal. And there are pieces that are in response to things that we talked about in current events and the piece together that's justice, that's everyone coming together to think about the intersection of different kinds of justice issues that intersect with disability. And tonight is that too. It's a place to really bring forward the voices that aren't heard and to show the great variety of humanity and show our strength in this time right now, to show our solidarity, our to work across movement, to work across disability, to be interdependent. I just hope that tonight will shift you, will expand you, and yeah, have fun.
Give it up for our lovely organizer T one more time. Don't we love T? T is amazing. So I want to do a quick little introduction of myself for those of you that don't know me. Thank you so much to Candor for having me and inviting me into this space. I've been lucky to meet T and be reintroduced to Lou, who I've known for many, many years. And so it's been a pleasure working with the organization and working with Lou personally on my side organization. But I am Kalisa Ray. I am a 5-year resident of Durham. I'm a disabled queer poet, activist, and I'm the theater and literature director at the North Carolina Arts Council. I also am the co-founder with my husband, who's going to perform and who is here also. And Lou is now on our team for the Griot and Grey Owl Black Southern Writers Festival that we host every November downtown Durham. So I'm a busy bee, but I'm excited to share an opening piece with you all. And then we're going to kick it off and have a little party with the rest of the artists and performers that are here. Are y'all ready for that? Are you ready? Yes. Okay, so we have y'all should have never let me be host. because I have some rules for you, okay? So when I host the show, the first rule is that we don't golf clap, okay? So I don't want to see any more golf clapping, all right? So we give energy the way that we can, but when we host the show and you hear a poem, you want to give that person some energy that feels collaborative, if we will. Okay, so we've got some options. All right, if you can and if you're able. Do you want to hear your options? Because we love some options, don't we? We love a good option. Okay, so if you hear something, particularly a poet that you love, and it makes you feel good, you can say, "Go in, poet." Can we get a little "go in, poet"? Go in, poet, for those of us that are audibly speaking people. You can do a little snap for those of us that can. So you can give a little snap. You can give a little tap for those of us that can. Can I see a little tap with your foot? Right, the church tap, as we call it in the Baptist Southern Church. Okay. You got options. So we're going to try to give as much energy and power the way that we are able to tonight to the poets and to the performers. Yes? Okay. So I'm going to kick us off with a piece called Dear IG Ladies Preaching Soft Life. It's a funny piece, but it twists to serious. So in an effort to amplify my identity tonight as a Black woman, not from the South, but was very much so raised in a very religious household that was overachieving, something that I think is bred in you as a Black woman often. I have learned that in coming to my into my queerness, into my disability, that many of the things that I was taught didn't serve me. And so that's really what this poem is about, but I use humor to couch those kind of heavy subjects. Dear IG ladies preaching soft life, every time I hear leisure, I think about labor. You say relax, and my mind flashes to my mother's hands cracked from bleach water, swollen at the knuckles, always moving, always making, never resting. She worked until her feet were numb, until her breath came ragged, until sleep was something stolen in snatches, a thing she never trusted to say. Our praise is always interrupted by fire, ain't it? So I get scared. My mind starts racing. I quit my job. I get nervous. I take time off to be an author, and I have a literal panic attack. Who am I when I am not working for someone, for something, when I'm not proving my worth through exhaustion? And the last time I sat for a second, I swear I hear the bills whispering from the kitchen table, the debt scratching at the door frame. I see my mother's feet pacing in the kitchen again, checking the stoves, the locks, the lights. Even rest has a checklist in our home. We are always so close to peace, and then the fear comes blazing back. The drive-by, you thought you'd escape that time. It's a shooting in the suburbs. For me, it was me watching the women in my family run down the street to care for the little boys when they knew they were exhausted from working all day. And who knows where we can hide? Where's a place for us to smile for just a second? Where's a place that we can tuck our smile, our joy, our Snickers, our Skittles, our iPhone, a breath, a poem, a hymn, a hymn, a hymn, and God knows, I want to find and hold joy like a prayer. I want to be leisurely, but every time I think of resting, terror crawls up my spine. Rest feels a lot like trauma, y'all. It looks a lot like being unarmed, gun pointed to your head in the middle of Gary, Indiana, where I grew up. And I don't even know how I got here. Busy feels safe, like a zigzag. The bad thing won't catch me if I keep moving, right? The shoe that I know will eventually drop. This time I'm praying it doesn't hit the ground. Where's a place I can hide? Sometimes I'll have my feet up, when I'm in the house and on the couch, and I swear I can hear a blown fuse, that shadowed thing still waiting to torch my unwinding. But I rest anyway. I grab joy anyway, and I dare the letting of the softness to creep into me. I hold on to the couch seat and pray this rest doesn't betray me this time. Thank you guys so much. So, next up, I don't even need my list because it's my husband, LB. Give it up for LB. All the way to the mic, all the way to the mic, all the way to the mic. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
How are y'all doing this lovely rainy evening? Questions about butterflies or depression is why this poem is beautiful. When I say the most common mental disorder, sorry. Questions about butterflies or depression is why this poem is beautiful. When I say the most common butterfly in the US is the cabbage white, what I mean is depression is the most common mental disorder. My Black heritage thinks it's mostly white. My Black body feels like mostly cabbage. To be both Black and butterfly is often thought to be rare, but they do exist. An example, the giant swallowtail. Now, isn't that the perfect name for my Black depression? A name that means a devourer of endings. When I say my sadness is a hungry caterpillar. When I say my mind is a leafy green. When I say this sadness feels like a cocoon. What I do not mean is for you to metaphor my good days into butterflies, just so you can call it an escape. When this smile, some days it wears like survival. And tomorrow is a reminder that maybe I won't. A reminder that the monarch butterfly's wings are stitched in a caution tape tale of tapestry. In this body, depression, it wears a hungry crown. And to those butterflies, all I am is a flower. A Black calla lily composing while being consumed, just so you can call this poem beautiful. Call it a butterfly, a winged prayer. Did you know? Butterflies taste everything they land on. That's why the wings fold like they're saying grace. Well, at least I be a blessed meal. At least I be something worthy of a prayer. At least I be beautiful, even as the confusion of expression with emotional intelligence, I can be just as magical as the wings of a butterfly. Just look at the illusion of these tears. Watch me be both depressed and the reason for being it. Did you know butterflies' wings are actually transparent and their colors are actually reflections? I too am reflecting. Just a prism of these colors, too Black for this view, too Black for this shoe, too Black to be blue, and who am I to question what I feel? What makes this pain any less than a flower bed? What makes these words any less than a nectar noose? Is that why butterflies have a liquid diet? Is this why I'm afraid to ask for help without blooming into a metaphor? Is that why depression is colorblind? A butterfly is a sky full of promise? Is a meltdown just a flooded mind after the storm? Did you know some colors of the rainbow are actually radioactive? What color is your Chernobyl? Is your pain a primary color too? What I do know is that if my blood sees the sky long enough, it will become a shade of brown. Is that why I'm seen as a wound? Is that why I feel like a wound? What color is healing? You know, hope is a shade of green. Did you know? There's not a lot of green butterflies out there. But they do exist.
Give it up for LB one more time, y'all. Y'all having a good time? Say yeah. All right, next up is my friend Lou. Give it up for Lou. All the way to the mic, all the way to the mic, all the way to the mic, all the way to the mic. Give it up for Lou. Give it up for Lou. Give it up for Lou. Give it up for Lou.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Lugent, and I use they, them pronouns. This is a poem that I call Another Voice. Um, it has a content warning for discussing my experiences as a survivor of some pretty tough childhood abuse. If you, like me, experience a need to both go to and or take up space, I hope this poem and every word I say allows you to take it. I wrote the poem for us. Uh, I wrote this poem to say that I see you in space and to send you a tether back home. So, little poem before a poem there.
Moment, please.
I'm gonna try to get my, this is also imperfection in action. Imagine someone small becoming a big idea in a brand new ephemeral expanse.
Excuse me.
A metaphor.
Haven't I met you before?
A maze. A followed fractal. A linear loop. A phrase.
Moment, please.
Or a shadow lengthening in a loblolly forest where fuzzy friendly kin grow longer talons and bear their bicuspids after sunset, becoming unfamiliar. Oh, oh,
Slew. I use any pronouns.
and as young as 3, I learned to trail a memory behind mine, a vine around my sapling for when my own mind bloomed into black, signaling with petals, or wasn't it?
You before?
How many of us are there? Mm.
Give me some time to think this over, please.
Light came rushing to my tenderling from the escape I found in books, and I read everything. I read anything I could find. I pulled every single book from my parents' lowest shelves. I can't find the button to say that's interesting. Dropping words behind me, tying them to bent twigs, etching them to the cave walls. Echo, echo, echo. How many of us are still here? I tucked it under my stolen candy. No, no, well, yes, but it was from the beast or witch. But my brother, I was running and it was dark and the labyrinth oven was on and I skimming nebulas, searching for a home planet. I can't see with my glasses on.
All speech is functional.
8 hearths in my heart, all blazed, waiting to find solar systems of safety far from the comfort horror myths of Minotaur and Hans's witch. Mm,
Haven't I met you before?
Mirrors once became dares as I danced past them, edging along decades of private brimstone. Who would I become in the unpassing? Hello, my name is Lou, and I use they, them pronouns. I thought I was alone in this, in all of this.
Don't know that I agree.
If I hadn't hit my head,
Could you repeat what you said?
if I hadn't hit my head again,
A moment, please.
if I hadn't hit my head again.
I'll speak right now.
No, if it hadn't been for, this was not self-inflicted. I'm swimming back out of shadows, snatching back my sob from the banshee and the crow.
My needs fluctuate, and so might my use of AAC.
Emery, my speech therapist, says it's okay to need this, even if other people I love need it too.
All speech is functional.
I don't know what monsters he battled before he became my hero, or how long he's been an astronaut, or who, if anyone, held his hand when the light inside him became blinding and then went completely out. But last week, when he held up his phone and it said,
All speech is functional. Your needs are valid.
he gave me a spun sugar taffy string long enough to bring me back from my event horizons.
To go now. I'll be back.
Thank you all for letting me do that.
Give it up for Lou one more time. That was so gorgeous. So if you saw Lou pulling off the mic covers, we've got those for your safety. So you switch those out as you will. Next up on the mic is Delphine. Where is Delphine? Give it up for Delphine.
Hello, all. My name is Delphine, and I am about to read a little something I've been working on. But before I begin, I want to offer you an invocation, a moment to settle in, to breathe, to open yourself to what's been hidden, silenced, or shamed. This piece is called Pleasure Untamed. It's a reclamation of remembering a body incantation. It speaks to the ways disabled bodies, my body, have been questioned, doubted, and dismissed. It speaks to how pleasure, especially disabled pleasure, has been erased, controlled, and feared. But this is not a poem about survival. It is a poem about emergence, about power, about desire that never needed permission. So I invite you to listen with more than your senses. Listen with your skin, with your history, with whatever in you has ever been told to shrink. This is pleasure untamed. Slipping through your fingers, it shivers, it quivers, sliding beneath the shadows to the pulse point of my desire. You ask callously, what is it? How do you? Can you even? I could never. Disgusting. No. What's disgusting is if you ever believe you had power over my pleasure. You thought you rid the world of it, but my world isn't yours to reach. My plane of existence serpentines through the cracks in your paltry reality. You cast your shame like spells, hoping I'd vanish with a curse of your tongue. But you forgot I am the witch in this realm. See, you tried to bury me, but you did not know I was a seed. You told me I was broken. You tried to salt the earth, but I bloomed anyway. My roots reaching for deeper waters, fed by pleasures you never learned to name, blossoming despite your ignorance, growing higher than your intolerance. My petals unfurling and unfolding, each bud a reclamation, each flower a rebellion, a vision for only the worthy to witness, a nectar for only the bold to taste. Because this pleasure, it's mine, unruly, untamed, unwritten. It does not await your approval. Sticky sweet like honey, it drips down to depths of the magic interwoven in my soul. Like the heat pressed between thighs and stars, it scorches every chain you shackled for control. Like echoes of desire etched upon the moon, caressed within the fractals of flesh, carried by bodies too feral to tame, claimed by lovers entwined through time. Ink bled our stories out of existence, but we learned to speak the language of the wind. It whispered to us in tendrils of tease. It fluttered on our fantasies of form. In me hum the hymns that history hid. Their sensuality seeped into my sinew. Their pleasure permeated my plasma. I do not hide away. I did not let go. I held true. And I became everything you feared. Yeah.
Give it up for Delphine one more time. So many bars. Wait a minute now. Listen with your skin between the thighs and the stars. Come on. What are we doing right now? Keep that same energy going for my friend, Matt G.
All right, just taking a moment to put on this mic contraceptive. And as said before, my name is Matt G. Uh, the name of this poem is called Crip Christ. And from that, the poem itself serves as an introduction of sorts. For 32 years, I've lived with cerebral palsy. Thanks to physical therapy and time, I'd say I get around pretty well day to day. Still, sometimes I get questions like, were you hurt? Are you okay? Did you get in an accident? These hardly bother me. But one always rubs me the wrong way. When strangers ask, can I pray for you? You see, in the Gospel of John, there was a story of a man who had been unable to walk for 38 years, until one day, Jesus came across him and asked, do you want to be healed? And by a miracle, the man became able to pick up his bed and walk away. The blessing did not come without warning, however. Jesus said to the man, sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. And how terrible I must appear to parishioners who have made parable of my person, that see my stumbling sign, that I sidewind the pathways of sin. Verily I say unto them, get thee away from me. How selfish it is to believe someone suffers living differently than you. You imagine my pain, yet do you care to know what I truly seek deliverance from? Your ignorance and your ableism. This body is not a curse, and I am no less gifted by grace. Jesus often performed miracles on people when no one else was there to see it. So what makes you think you could bear witness to all the ways I've been blessed? Like my parents ain't pray me out of a NICU and off a breathing machine. Like the Lord ain't grant intellect to the PTs that work with me. Like the miracle ain't the steady movement of my heartbeat over my feet. Don't look for proof that God works through you by reaching out to me. How could the disabled be any less close to the divine when Christ came to this earth in a body that limited him, misunderstood for who he was, thought of each of us even when given a death sentence, but showed the world he was all powerful when he didn't have a leg to stand on? See me as God body, made perfectly imperfect. Offer alms before psalms, show dignity before pity, and pray that we all find healing from whatever it is that ails us together. Thank you.
Give it up for Matt G one more time. Next up on the mic to bless us is Raphael. Where's Raphael? Yeah, give it up for Raphael.
My name is Raphael Collins, born August 20th, 1996. The doctors thought I was deaf, but that wasn't the case. Later on, a speech therapist found out that it was because I was not born with enough muscle to talk. So here I am now speaking. The doctors were so wrong. I can hear pretty well. It's gotten me in trouble throughout my life, actually, because I've overheard my parents speak about me amongst themselves. They didn't think they thought I was spying on them, but I was actually up in my room while they were downstairs. I took kindergarten twice. First, kindergarten, I was just in speech therapy. One of the years I was in kindergarten, I went to a dermatologist. They said, if your son stuff continues, come back. That didn't happen. My mom did not take me back to the dermatologist to find out what was going on. But now, as an adult, I have to try to pick up the pieces and find out what is going on. I break out in blisters and or hives from the sun sometimes. Don't know exactly what is the cause of it. So I really don't know if it's something just more than that, which has greatly impacted my life. It's gotten worse as I gotten older. Now it's to the point where sometimes I get a reaction just going into a hair's heater. I feel ill. From the fluorescent lights. These systems were not made for disabled people. I sometimes feel ill just from waiting for the bus. The paperwork is hard for me to fill out because of my ADHD and autism, so not really filling out the paperwork to do the like door-to-door service for the bus. Um, Sorry about that. Give me a second. I've been homeless on and off since the end of high school. Because I had enough of my parents not understanding me or really making it fair for me. High school graduation, I wanted a laptop for my graduation, but they told me, you're not getting a laptop. Only people that go to college get laptops. Laptops are very, in this day and age, you need one for that. You need one to get jobs, fill out forms for resources you need. Yes, a phone, you can do all the same things, but with my fine motor skills, I find it hard to just use a phone. And then getting to the library is just another step that takes a longer time for me. And then some days I don't feel well enough to go to the library, or the UV index is too high for me to safely go outside when it's light out without overheating with all the clothing, the hat, the gloves. I sometimes, when I walk down the street, people say, why are you wearing all those clothes? Why are you wearing gloves? But like, I just wish people would just not question people. They're wearing it for a reason. I'm transgender as well, so the systems for shelters not really the greatest. In Orange County, in North Carolina, there is no transgender policies in the shelters, so I do not feel safe. I was there once in the men's shelter. I requested to get switched to the women's shelter. They said, no, we would only do that if you got physically harmed. But isn't that too late? That's too late. Like, emotional is just as well. If you don't emotionally feel safe, shouldn't that be good enough? I know in Raleigh that if a transgender person requested to go to another shelter, they would say, yes, when there's another bed available. But in Orange County, they're like, well, you can do that, but you have to become homeless again and get on the waiting list again. That doesn't seem right. It's not my fault that the system's not made for me. It's not. Like, I don't understand. I've tried to talk to them because this is an issue. There's more than just me that's transgender in Orange County that may need to go to a shelter for housing. Like, in this political climate, I don't feel safe to go into another shelter. I got rapid rehousing. That's ending July 24th. But I was not able to get a housing choice voucher with Section 8 through Orange County before they paused taking new people. I am required to have supports in place to help me organize my place before they'll ever give me a voucher. But 1915I services are in great high demand. There's not enough workers with the need, and the process to get that done is a very long process. You have to get the assessment, then they have to review the assessment, and then they um, approve it. Then you have to sign saying, okay, I want someone to them to start looking for a 1959 services. But unfortunately, my case manager with through my insurance misunderstood me and thought I wanted to wait for 1959 services until I get housed. No, I have to get those before I can even get housed again. So I'm just frustrated with the system trying to get my needs met, but they're not listening. They seem to be doing what they want. I deserve housing. I deserve disability. But in this world, they make it so many steps for you to be able to get this. My mom told me when I was an adult that she gave up on me and stopped parenting me a long time ago. That explains a lot of things for me to try to figure out and navigate the world, because my mom did not teach me those things. So I'm kind of stunted with that. So I need all these supports. Getting a diagnosis with autism has really opened up doors for me to get the services I need. Well, in theory, I'm qualified for them, but it's just getting the supports in place. So I'm applying for housing assistance so I can stay with my stepbrother in Asheville for 3 months. Starting in August after that, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. But at least, hopefully I get that and I will be housed during the summer. I can deal with winter in a tent a lot better than summer in a tent. So life is a journey that you just have to keep moving forward, and eventually things will work out.
Give it up for Raphael one more time. Show some love, show some love, show some love. It is not easy to get up here and be so vulnerable. So if you can keep that in mind for every single person that comes up to bless this mic, that we are here to hold space for people sharing their truths. Next up is Sarah Rizzuto.
Okay, I will start. I'm told that you can hear me. I hope everyone is doing well. Like Raphael said, the systems are often made for us. I have 3 poems to share with you today. My first poem is called Different Lifelines, and I'm originally from India, so it contrasts the system in India with how things are here in Connecticut, where I'm from. It begins like this. Different lifelines. My parents always reminded me, upward and onward, keep going. But had I not been adopted and lived in India more than a few months, My cerebral palsy probably would have cost me more than I can imagine. My disability wouldn't get me anywhere. Stuck on street corners, selling pencils, nothing noble, only retribution for a previous life, one I couldn't remember, one karma determined I hadn't lived well. Had I lived in India, I would have been of the Sudra caste, the untouchables, scorned for past wrongdoings, often servants. Even as a servant, I'd be sure to disappoint. Upward and onward, foreign to sealed ears. Here in Connecticut, a lifetime away, I'm a professor, teaching English. One class, on the lowest rung of the academy, because if I could step up, I'd lose the disability check that ensured I have enough to keep me warm and off New Haven park benches that held the homeless, those with only enough for bus fare. I'm grateful to be in from the cold, but my ceiling is made of glass, and I see right through it to cement. My raised fist pleads, stared down in silence. No one speaks of steps for me in my wheelchair to make a grander entrance with those I've dreamed of standing beside since I was 5. Those who knew I could do more, be treated as equal in their classrooms, not as someone relegated to resource rooms. My professors' voices were loud, echoing my parents. Keep going, they insisted, even when ceiling shouted around me because someone else's raised fist came before mine. The next poem I have for you is contrast when the system fails us to when one person or several people can make a difference. This poem starts with a quote that says, "Saving Danielle was just too much trouble." Lynn Abram, Philadelphia District Attorney, for Danielle Kelly, 1992 to 2006. Danielle was 14, found dead in her feces, all bone and bed sores, infested with maggots. 42 pounds, weight of a 4-year-old. She had cerebral palsy and used a wheelchair like me. I was 2 pounds when I was born to the streets of Calcutta, and parents I'll never know. Even government records are poor. I could have starved for weeks too, but my parents left me for adoption. Once, when I asked about my birth parents, my father said, "They must have really loved you, and not easy to give up a child." The 4 social workers on Daniel's case discarded her too easily, just as her mother did. She could do no better than to neglect her. The unwanted wishbones of turkey dinners, after the wishes are snapped off. They reported she appeared well cared for the day before she died, while Daniel's brother, who knew little of responsibility at 5 years old, begged his mother to call an ambulance. When I need air, I take the train to New York City without telling my parents and send them a postcard, knowing they'll still welcome me home. My father questions me. "Did you think I'd be mad?" I say no, relieved when the grim line of his lips softens to a smile. When I crave chocolate, I count on an almond Hershey's my father leaves just in case I get hungry and no one's home. If I hack so hard, my roommates are convinced I'm dying. I call my dad who will drive half an hour to drop off cough drops, chicken soup, 10 boxes of tissues, a blanket, a robust book, and some tea. Anything to end my misery. My last poem is the first poem in a book that I'm writing about my dad that I hope will be published soon. My dad was no Zeus. My father rejected the throne, did not thirst for thunderbolts, but his voice commanded attention without needing to strike. I could hear his resounding, "Am I right or am I right?" A question that was out of context seemed condescending, but became an enduring punchline to our bickering and our banter. My father knew my father was no Zeus, choosing human love over immortal governs. He knew muscles and winsome tresses were no match for what we offer one another in this life, mighty and infinite. Together we face an underworld of inaccessibility, abandoned the myth that my wheelchair was my misfortune. Unconcerned with being proclaimed victorious and almighty, he resisted all things gold, beautiful and meaningless treasures and chose me instead. Thank you.
Let's show love for Sarah. Thank you so much. We've actually got one more before the break, and it's Blakely. Hi, Blakely. Give it up for Blakely.
Hi. Do you want to sit down? Can I get you a seat? We saved a seat over there for you. It's a great view. Do you want to sit down? Are you sure you don't want to sit down? How about a wheelchair? It'll make things so much faster. We can see all the art. Do you want to sit down? No, I don't fucking want to sit down. Why do you think I'm standing up? Or why do you think I have now German arm crutches? They make the best things. No, I don't want to sit down. But why is that? Anyone who asks me does it out of the bottom of their heart. It's not pity, at least not the people who ask me, usually. I don't want to sit down because I like my freedom. I like being able to walk around. I like being able to say, wait, at my favorite places, which are art museums. No, I don't really want to look at that one. I'm going to go look at this one. Or I'm going to walk over here and see what's going on. Or I'm going to leave. Whatever it might be, I don't want to sit down. And I think a core part of that, because I've had to think about that a lot. I'm certified as an ADA coordinator, and my life purpose, as far as I know so far, and by the way, person born in August 1996 makes me feel rather old. But I was born in August 1980, and I think life purposes transform, and I do know that that's very young in certain ways. But but I was thinking about it because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I want to make anything as accessible as possible for everyone, whether it's chronic pain or autism or vision or hearing or you name it. It's usually a mix of things. Or if it's completely, as with chronic pain often, if it's completely invisible, whatever it may be, I want a space or an event like this or an opportunity to be as truly seamlessly accessible as possible. And I want people to be able to sit down if they want to. But I guess that's the part. It's wanting. It's having your own control. Years and years ago, and it's taken me a while. I wasn't born with any physical disability, at least not that was presented. This sort of came on out of the blue in my early 20s, about 2 decades ago. But I remember watching my grandmother, who had severe rheumatoid arthritis in a way that you, at least in the United States, you don't see anymore because medications help stop it. But she was brilliant. She was a college valedictorian. Turned out, we found out after she passed away, she was a day trader, which has helped me. But smart and funny and in a retirement home, in a wheelchair, totally independent, but in a wheelchair by 62, which is mind-boggling. It seemed old to me then, but I was a child. And I knew it wasn't right because even before that, when she was in a wheelchair, I don't think people have recovered from my icy stare in a Walmart or grocery shopping when I was pushing her in a wheelchair and they would just stare at her, especially children, which I can't fault them totally, but I was a child, so I did. And I remember thinking, if only they knew how brilliant and funny and kind of just sharp, the sharpness of her humor was, it could cut like a knife. And luckily it was never aimed at me, but if they only knew about her, that she's so much more, and honestly not at all about her wheelchair, it gets her around. Yeah, and it really, she didn't have the chance to stand up. So when I get asked, do I want to sit down? I think part of it, even though I do not want to be a hypocrite, but part of it is to say no, because I have the opportunity, the chance to stand up. And it's not easy. I didn't realize that I had carpal tunnel because my hands would go numb, and I thought carpal tunnel, I'd watched my mom get it from grading papers in her lap, and it would hurt. But, I get carpal tunnel and things are difficult. But 2 weekends ago, I went to Washington, D.C. with my wonderful parents. And I recognize that that is such a gift to have wonderful, supportive parents who listen and who don't shut me down with my opinions or ideas, and really wait to hear what I need. But we were going to art museums, and they truly thought about it logically and said, we think it's a better idea for you to be able to be in a wheelchair so we can see as much art as you want to see. And I decided to go with it, give it a try and experiment. Well, now Derek, could you help me for a second? This will take 1 second, actually more than a second. And see, normally when you have to sit down. Here. See how easy it is to sit down? Not at all. But from this perspective, you're all sitting down, so I'm looking at you in your eyes, which is wonderful. But in an art museum, I'm looking at everybody's stomach, which in America is quite a lot to see. And then my father's wonderful and will take me anywhere. He's been, a ride or die before that was a thing, but he's almost deaf. He doesn't want to believe that, so he doesn't wear his hearing aids so often. So I'd be like, no, I'm good. We don't need to see that. And he'd just be standing there. And I realized that I had the best luck with my parents, and I had the best situation, and we're doing everything that I want to do. And just like another group this past weekend asked when we were at a family wedding, if I wanted to sit down, they'd found me a perfect spot and people were there to talk. And I said no. And finally, a cousin next to me who I adore said, do you want to punch the next person who says, you want to sit down? And if you knew Charles, you knew that was an unlikely offer or prospect. And I said, thank you for your service. So yeah, sometimes I want to sit down, but I'll do it on my own. Thanks.
One more time for Blakely. Can we talk about all these August babies? What's going on with me and my friends all being born in August? Who else is born in August? How many? Wow, we've got a lot of August folks. I love this energy. Talk to me afterward. Okay, so we're gonna take a short little break. How are y'all feeling? What about our first half? Yes, can we give love to the people that went in the first half? We're gonna take a quick little, a 5 or 10er. We're gonna do a quick little 10-minute break. Get you a refreshment, talk to somebody, make a friend, and we'll be back, okay? So excited about our next artist. From what I've heard, they're super dope. Are we ready? Yeah. All right. All right. So we need to do an energy check again. So when I welcome up this next artist, what are you gonna do? I don't know. That just, there's something about that gusto that isn't giving me what I need. Let's try it again. And the next artist is, there we go. Give it up for Nick.
How's everybody doing? A post intermission, long time no see. My name is Nick Narian. What do you think of these? Oh, There we go. Sorry. What do you think of these pants? Sorry, I made them for these two today, so I'm very excited to wear them. Thank you. Yeah, today I'm gonna sing a song that I wrote. Um, for me, when I do songwriting, I really enjoy. I'm a lover of science, and I like to take different concepts and try to, wheel them into scientific stories that are also deeply tied to like my personal experiences and lived experiences. This song is called Catalyst. It's about chemistry. Um, thank you. And basically, I think in a lot of the work that we do, you kind of know that you can't change people, but you can help people change faster. Uh, and just like in chemistry, we have catalysts to chemical reactions that may not, participate in the reaction or give themselves into a reaction, but help the reaction go quickly. So if you just give me 1 second, I'm just going to connect to the Bluetooth and we'll get to some songing. I know what you did. I can measure it. I can watch the trends. I hold my silence, but you play in my head like a melody. And I went through hell and back to be okay with who I am. But at this disarray and impasse, we keep on dancing. All those times said I was foolish, wasn't ready to be ruthless. Are we close or are we clueless? Oh, it hurts for me to do this. So say what you want, I won't let you in. I wanna break you down, I wanna break you down. And it's clear to see if you're next to me that you're breaking down. So if you're breaking down, I'll be the catalyst. I'll be the catalyst. I know how you think. I can measure it. I can watch the trends. Heart sinking, thoughts quicken, the plot thickens, and I feel sick again. But I don't need a change. Taken in by the attraction, watching your overreaction. All this steam and smoke and ashes feels like magic. Faint glimmers of euphoria. All those years I tried to warn ya. I'm not looking to mine ya. I'm just looking to transpire ya. So say what you want, I won't let you in. I wanna break you down, I wanna break you down. And it's clear to see if you're next to me that you're breaking down. So if you're breaking down, no, oh, I catalyst. And no, I, no, I, oh, I wanna break you down.
My goodness. What? Adele, what? Whitney, who? Come on now with the vocals. Give it up for Nick Narain. Oh my goodness. Y'all are slaying out here. And we're going to transition to more hot fire. Where's River?
Hey y'all. It's been like 3 years since I performed. I got too comfortable with the facilitator and like curation role, so it's exciting to do this again. I've been dreaming of a space like this, so it's I'm so appreciative that y'all made this happen. So Leslie Feinberg wrote in Stone Butch Blues, "Nature held me close and seemed to find no fault with me." Nature held me. Nature held me and seemed to find no fault. No fault. No fault. Nature holds me. All of me. Nature's rhythms call me home. A reminder I, too, am a part of nature's ecosystem of interconnected interdependence. Nature's rhythms intertwine with my nervous system, providing a profound sense of belonging. A reminder I, too, am a part of nature. Nature's rhythms remind me to breathe deep enough to feel the wind that wanders the trees, a wind that acts as an archive of disabled possibilities, an experiential communication connection, one that I prefer. A reminder I, too, am a part of nature. The earth cradles my body with care to remind me that we are one. Nature holds me, all of me. Nature is my greatest teacher. She's my mentor for self-love, reconnecting to my body, self-acceptance, and working through rumbles of communication and regulation and alexithymia. A reminder I, too, am a part of nature. Our disabled interdependence is reflected in nature's rhythms, a messy ebb and flow of meeting each other's needs. A reminder I, too, am a part of nature. We rely on each other like an ecosystem, the way nature exchanges energy and nutrients. My small care web transfers time, money, labor, emotional connection, laughter, food, creativity, networking, resources, and problem solving. A reminder I, too, am a part of nature. Interdependence is a cycle of survival, a cycle of asking, giving, taking, sharing, of saying, not right now, but here's someone or something that might help. A reminder I, too, am a part of nature. If you were a river, I would transfer you light to provide you food, give you enough rain to maintain your flow, but be there to hold you when erosion or flooding hits. A reminder I, too, am a part of nature. Nature is our greatest teacher. She teaches me how to hold myself while holding you and you and you and you. Nature holds us, all of us. Nature held me and you and you and you close and seemed to find no fault with us. If y'all mind kind of swaying and rocking with me, it's my favorite stem. So I like to think that it's like the trees kind of swaying, maybe even in a storm, because I am nature. We are nature. Is there another stem that you all could give to me to add to this choreography? Does anyone have one? What's your go-to stim? Wiggle, wiggle, shake, shake. What does that look like? Yeah. So as we rock, we'll shake a little bit. And we'll rock again and shake a little bit. Does anyone have another one? Tap, tap, tap. So we're rocking and we're tapping and we're shaking and we're rocking and we're tapping and we're shaking. And when I really like some music, I shake my head. And so we're rocking and we're tapping and we're shaking. It's something I've been wanting to do, to create a stimming choreography of our disabled interdependence. What we created there is nature, because we are nature. Thank you for doing that. And this is all a reminder that nature held me close and seemed to find no fault with me, no fault with us. Thank you.
Give it up for River one more time. Personally, my stem is twerking. Listen, so therapeutic. I strongly recommend every morning. And next up, give it up for Alana. Yeah.
So I go by Catalina, my Colombian name. So I'm really honored to be the second adoptee to go tonight. I could never articulate what that means, especially an adoptee from the global south. This piece is dedicated to all the Colombian human rights defenders, particularly Francia Marquez. If you are interested at all in Colombia after hearing my piece, I highly suggest you learn about our vice president. She is one of those. All right. Small tyrants thrive throughout third world conflict. Goose stepping past their neighbor, we become just another ethnic cleansing. Where are our girls during this invasion? We beg you, lead us to the site of our children's extermination. Do we just disappear? Is there even any chance for us? Cain amputates Abel. Both boys leer as their sisters' genitals hit the ground. These miniature tyrants sleep well through the night. They eat a hearty platter to greet their day. These men love themselves deeply, unburdened by complication. They hug their families morning, noon, and night. He is a great father. He's a good friend. He's a hard worker, a never caught rapist. I begin my North American mornings with a simple Chiquita banana. Afro-Colombians cleanse their blood off my fruit before it can arrive in my grocery shelf. Normalcy shakes the politics from my blessed life, and blessed be. I'm very lucky to have lost a living mother. I turn into an American, blind to Andean origins, floating above just a continent away, mud drowning Amero. Learning the folklore of our Civil War answers my basic and uninformed American questions. Why we are all violent, why we are all dirt poor, why we all kill each other, why all girls of Medellin spend their lives selling roses, why our bodies belong massacred in the streets of eternal spring, death a permanent stain oozing down our landscape, pieces of human rights defenders rise up to the surface of Magdalena, their last prayers pleading for an end to this platoon of paramilitary men. But me, I am saved. Cultural genocide be damned. Who gives a fuck? An overindulgent life in the land of foreign goods is to be enjoyed, not thought over. Carmen Miranda is still dancing in celebration for me. The local Connecticut press announces my saving and arrival. Colombian girl welcomed home by her forever family. For an image of Westport's newest war orphan, with your neighbors, see below. A fluff piece amid suburban news. Family separated, culturally annihilated. Glory be the United States. I am saved. Saved from Colombia, saved from Colombians. Taken away for my mother's own good. Antioquia never leads me into the earth's lungs. She never holds me in her complexity. Complex? No, 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 no. Crime is crime is crime is crime. It is not political, it is crime. And Medellin, by its very nature, only blooms with violent crime. The campesino, the narco, the paisa, the polisa, the revolutionary, the rose seller, are they really anything more than just that? But me, I am saved. My sister's hips lie throughout the Andes Mountains, but I am saved. Tourists desecrate battlefields, now my sister's unbuilt tomb. I am saved just as mud trickles out of her very last vein. Do I really care if campesinos are still fed glyphosate morning and night? Doesn't apathy make me American? When every Colombiana is ready with her story to tell, will I even listen? Colombiana, disappeared and still breathing, savaged by men. Colombiana, an apparition, roaming, lost on her land, picking up her extremities, sewing herself back together again, collapsing into her wailing mother's arms. Colombiana, naive to la bestia, yet still, birth control swallowed, nerves of steel braced, then lost to nature, humans, the wind. But oh, to be saved, painted over red, white, and blue. Thank you.
Give it up for Catalina. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And now we have a virtual piece from Danny.
Hi. HIT ANDALL. Hi, T and all. Is that working okay?
Yes.
All right, hopefully everyone can see that. Danny wanted to say some brief words. Yeah, you got it.
Vet det var vitsigt.
HIALL.
All.
Hi all. APLEASURBEHER. A pleasure to be here. IBRONKNYAM. I broke my arm. ONWE on Wednesday. ANDTHISCHERIN. And this is cheering MEUP, and this is cheering me up. THESEPOEMS. These poems are APARTOFARECKONING. These poems are a part of a reckoning. Okay, and he has chosen for me to read his poetry. The first one is, I am so all a whirl. We are made of stars, so say sentimental people trying to sound deep. I am annoyed by it a bit, even if it is true. But it seems I am too much of the universe's power. Stars and asteroids and black holes, cosmic motion crammed into my body, So very human.
Where did the poet sit it?
Mhm. Y-A.
Yay.
Yay. All right. And the next poem is Brave. I'm so wanting to be more brave. The world is full of peril, real and imagined, and also unimaginable. I'm one of the vulnerable. And that means people care about me in theory, but truth be told, don't actually believe I deserve to be here. Because what greater sin is there than being inconvenient? I'm so wanting a world where I can be less brave. Why does just existing need to be a courageous act? I may be vulnerable, but you made it so. My basic act of trying to be a human with some dignity must be inspirational and in the confines of feel-good reels and not in your neighborhood or classrooms or workplaces or really anywhere that you frequent. And maybe you are the ones who need to be more brave. And if this upsets you, this is for you. Saying so much. All my effortful life. All so much effort for each fucking thing. And what is also frustrating is that I can't even approach normal. I am also absolutely abnormal. And don't say that normal is overrated. Also easy for you to say. But also absolutely not true. Also, all I want is normal. Also normal. Blandly at ease. And if you think that is overrated, I welcome you to go to hell, which is where I have been, on and off, my whole life. Also my life, also. How is this all? I'm one of the defective, the flawed in design, the pitiful until you can ignore me, tucked away in the room of my fellow disposable, negligible misfits, so you don't have to be bothered by us, by disgust, by your own guilt, by the inkling that what you have been taught about worth might well be wrong. And, and, and now I am here. And then the last poem in my all so difficult life. The reality is at times so sharp, cutting, slicing, cross sections of my constructed dreams, and they collapse folded on themselves. Their weight crushes me underneath. And in this heightened gravity, all that keeps me, all that saves me, all that clears the debris
Where did the poet sit?
and lets me start again is your love.
Where did the poet sit?
TYSM.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. So we have another virtual piece, this time recorded by Destiny Whitaker. So give it up for Destiny.
Hi, my name is Destiny Dessie Whitaker. My pronouns are she, her, they. I am recording this from Newport, North Carolina. This is my poem titled Me, Mine, My. I declare, me, mine, my. I own, me, mine, my. I accomplish, me, mine, my. I am, me, mine, my. I love, I win, I lose, I defend, me, my, mines. My love, my art, my life, mines. Forever and always, mines. Indisputably, me, mine, my. My feelings, my thoughts, my journey, my story to tell, my secrets to keep, all mines to share. No guidebook, no soapbox, no cautionary tales, just me, myself, and I, learning to say, me, mine, mine. Scared and with doubt, hand over heart, tears running down my face, bass in voice, mine. Thank you.
I was imagining that our in-person and our virtual were doing a rap battle, and I was trying to figure out who was coming with more of the fire. And I'm gonna tell you, like after seeing Danny and Leah, I don't know, in person, I don't know how many points we got, but we got more points coming, right? So I want that energy for our next person. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. For CJ, DJ, hello. Give it up for DJ.
Oh, gotta wrap it up. I've never done this before. I'm serious. I don't know why I have 3 kids. I've never done it before. All right. So first of all, I want to say I feel really like at home. I've never actually done an open mic night. I haven't. I've gone, but I also chose to teach children for over 20 years or counsel them. And I told, I don't know who it was today, I said, I'm more than prepared because I've had children say, did you mean to wear that with that? So yeah, I know how to handle being humbled and hecklers as well. So I'll introduce the piece first and then myself and then back into the piece because that makes sense to me. So this is part of my viral voicemail series because when I send my friends messages, I get a little long-winded and I just say, this is my podcast. So yeah, so this one is called Employee of the Month. And my intro, Le Bunny Velvet, Moonchild, Elemental, Dizzy Chick Star, Eclectic Woochie, Conjure Woman, Alien Siren, One Soul, Many Bodies, 7 Names, Frequently Too Much. 1980s, baby, Blakely. I see you. I see you. All right. That's why it's after 3 when he called me, but we're a family. But can't you see that I'm DJ here, but Daria at home? Because you won't say the pronunciation of my name, hun, but you want more and more of my time, son. PTOO, brother. If you catch me by the collar, I'll call you mother lover. I'm one fine woman, won't you back the F up? The gig and the gag is all the way fucked. Just like you got me. I synced you, you tried to come for me. But what about work family, bruh? I gotta run now. I've got the runs now because the mandated donated lunch powwow or tripod, yeah. Try that luck. That's why it's volcanic eruptions, volcanic eruptions, eruptions. Your girl is truly plucked, but not my lace or lashes. Cannot afford that. How I managed to do that while I'm catching flack, I'm like, Roberta, baby. And you're killing me constantly. And my daydreams, you're a nightmare inside a jump scare. I read the research and we both chose the bear. Me for survival, you for the minimum. It'll take 1 or 6 of all of y'all to pull me off of her. You don't know me, but I know you. And you owe me. I'm trying to value inside a patricide of nothing viable. Dishes, no fuss. It's called a trial. But baby, you hush. Listen to auntie. You may sit here. No need to bend the knee. Traqueres. Been there, done that, did it happily. It's a no-win game, Neffy. They will devour thee. No cleanup, it's a stick up in aisle 3. They trying to own me, not just your time, sheet. Sheet. That's not just scars there. That's a whole tree. But there's a way out. Been told to find out my own damn route. Hey, there is no way. Barely got the whole day. Why I feel like my whole skies is gray. But just know now, and there is no doubt, them red flags is loud. And they got less clout than the sort of man who would kill a man in the beck of them. No discipline, no vision. Gonna open up your eyes in 3, 2, 1. All rise. It went away. Gonna open up your eyes in 3, 2, 1. All rise. That's just the first step, but not the main one. You can try again, and there's a million billion ways to do so, friend. Try a melody that you can bounce, bounce to, thrilling them, killing them, a whittle softly, or try some paper and bleed a homily of places you'll go, no systems, property. I'm gonna warn you now, when the rain's gonna come round the reckoning, and then it's all done. Our folk are waking up. I'm taking all of them. Egg on your face. I'm in the back of them. I'm just their baby, and they don't play. Feel me? So go and get you something safe to do, because me and Spirit Crew is thoroughly, oh so scurrily, sick of you. But it's not, you see. It's gotta be me. It's not a you thing. You've personality and a car hybrid. Oh my. Interesting. So now we can be friends. Just know I answer and that I pick up, friend, to only family. Real, found, or brown. You dig? The end.
Show your love for DJ. Ow, 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 ow. The mic is so hot at the DJ. So, okay, I think it's officially a tie. So DJ definitely even the score. Can we give it up for everybody that has touched this mic tonight? Yes, 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 yes. Can we give it up for our ASL interpreters? Oh my God. Oh my God. Phenomenal, phenomenal. And then give it up for yourselves for being active listeners. Y'all have been amazing. Yes. That concludes our show. All right, so this has been lovely, lovely. Please, if you don't already, get connected with Candor, with T, with Lou, with the whole community, and stay abreast on all the events that are happening. T, do you want to say anything before we close out? You don't like talking on the mic. Okay, cool. Meet somebody, hug somebody consensually, talk to folks. We've got organizers in the room, artists. Please view the arts in the room. And thank you all so much for being here tonight. Yay!